December 12th, 2022, I dropped a video called "The Valorant Community is Gross and Degenerate." I did this for a lot of reasons, one of them being the fact that I kept seeing TikToks of e-daters being gross in Valorant servers.
For every kill you get, I'll give you an ara.
Alright, bet.
Ara.
Oh my god.
Ara.
They're distracting me.
Ara. Some nervous now. I've never told you that.
I saw this other thing called ePal, where you would literally rent a girl to play Valorant with for like 20 bucks an hour for her to just sit in the game and play with you. She didn't even guarantee that you'd win or get carried. Just play with a girl, $20 an hour.
Imagine a world where you get to pick the person you get to play with. Not only do you get to pick someone with a good rank whose skills are equal or even above yours, but also someone who will provide you with a pleasant experience while you're gaming alongside them, motivating you through your climb to the very top of the ranks.
I thought the game was getting very pathetic, and I thought it was getting filled with a lot of desperate people, you know, desperate guys who needed validation from girls, and desperate girls who would go into these VCs for the game, and they'd start like moaning every time they got a kill. All this sort of gross stuff that really turned me off from the game, left a sour taste in my mouth, and I was just kind of done with it. This feeling that I had around the game, this resentment, coincided around the exact same time as a tweet from Play Valorant where they posted this picture of two characters from the game making out with each other. Now you can imagine my frustration where I can see this trend in the Valorant community becoming more and more desperate and kind of adulty. There's like this little undertone of like, there's like some roleplay stuff going on. I'm not a fan of it. And then Play Valorant does this with their characters. And it's like, what the hell is this? Are we playing a 6v6 tactical shooter, or is this becoming a dating simulator? Like, what the hell is this? Counter-Strike doesn't have this problem. It never has had this e-dater problem, this community over-sexualization problem, ever. Literally ever. I don't think I've ever played... Now, okay, Counter-Strike does have its problems. You're gonna hear a lot of N-words flying in Counter-Strike lobbies, okay? I mean, if you get opt during a clutch situation, you're gonna wake up your parents with the N-word. They're gonna be like, really? That disgusting language just came out of the mouth of my son? Oh yeah, you bet. You bet, bro. Your son, he got sniped. He got owned by a guy whose player name is in Russian, and he's mad about it. He's gonna let everyone know. The neighbors are awake right now. They're like, where? Okay, that's crazy. Okay. But the point is, the game started to take a turn for the worse, and Play Valorant made this tweet, and it was just like, okay, they're kind of fueling the fire in a way. And I made this tweet basically saying, thank God I quit this game. Now, because it was two of the female characters making out, people were calling me homophobic, which is like, let's be real for a second. But my friend Jett basically got in trouble for some comments he made on that tweet too. Now, recently, marking the 1-year anniversary of this whole thing coming down, he made a tweet basically saying like hot take or whatever, and he talked about the tweet back then. And he got canceled for it again this year, and I want to go over it today because I think it's absolutely ridiculous. He says, hot take, this photo was the start of normalizing and inviting degeneracy into Valorant and starting the e-dating culture. The fact that they're LGBT doesn't matter. I'd be equally annoyed if they were hetero. Sexualization does not belong in video games. Bro, the replies that Jett got to this tweet was insane, bro. People are so angry, and I understand if you disagree with what he's saying. You can disagree with his take. That's why he calls it a hot take. Twitter disagrees with this take. But why are you angry? This tweet is just saying that he thinks this made the game more sexual or more welcoming to romantic intimacy when in reality it's just a shooter game. If you disagree with that, feel free to tell, you know, why you disagree with that. But most of the replies that Jett got are just telling him to off himself and saying that he's like a disgusting straight white male who shouldn't be having an opinion on topics like this. And you have to wonder, it's like, maybe these people don't actually have a good argument against what he's saying, but they just get like so worked up because they disagree with someone, because they've been conditioned to just agree with everything they see on Twitter, that the moment something out of their comfort zone is shown to them, they just spaz out and freak out, and, you know, they commence the off yourself protocol. But once you sift through all the replies that are just like hating on him without giving an argument, the main argument that I've seen is that people think it's more sexual than it actually is because it's two women. And two women kissing isn't inherently sexual. Now that, whether kissing is inherently sexual, like that's a completely other discussion, but let's just say that it's not inherently sexual. Let's even turn it down a notch. Let's say Play Valorant posted a picture of these two characters blushing while holding hands. It would do the same exact thing. It literally normalizes intimacy, romance, romantic interest, like crushes and stuff like that, into a 6v6 tactical shooter game. Like, I don't understand. Why is there this need for a game that has no reason to have romance in it, you know? And not only is there no reason to do it, I'd say there's actually like 30 reasons not to do it. Like, the more that a player base shifts from gamers that are interested in a good game and a tactical shooter to sexually depraved weirdos on the internet who are just like desperate to talk to somebody they're interested in, it's just like, has anything good ever came from that? But this hate that WestJett's getting is insane. Like, look at this DM. I need you to die, I'm so serious. Ugly ass homophobic. Damn, and then the block. You don't even give him a chance to respond. That's lame. You can dish it, but you can't take it. Really? Really? You're that sensitive? You can't even have a chance for him to respond back? It's crazy, too. You're accusing him of being homophobic, being hateful toward gay people, which is obviously not true, and I don't know how anyone could extrapolate that from the tweet saying, like, oh, hey, we don't have to make this game sexual. But calling him ugly and then saying that he has to off himself is, like, way more offensive and way more hateful than anything he said. Imagine seeing two women kiss and calling it sexual. All you did is call out how creepy you yourself are. These people can't address the actual e-dater problem in Valorant and all of the weird men and women that play the game in VCs and get romantic and get intimate and get sexual. So when they see somebody complain about something that may not be as bad as the stuff happening in the game itself, they'll be like, bro, be honest, this is not a big deal, okay? How could you ever think that two characters from Valorant kissing is sexual? Well, it's two characters from the video game showing romantic interest in each other and, you know, performing intimacy, and that's what the same e-daters do who make it a lot more sexual and weird, so obviously this image isn't helping it and therefore sexualizing the game. Is that a crazy leap in logic? How are you gonna self-report being bitchless this bad? Are you serious? So not wanting to see cartoon girls make out makes you less good with women? Wait, what? Yeah, tell that to the 500-pound Redditor who collects anime figures and body pillows who loves cartoon women making out. Yeah, I'm sure that guy's great with women. He has so many LA supermodels in his contact at all times. Matter of fact, he's actually getting a call right now from his side hoe requesting that he come over ASAP. No, this is obviously not happening. And matter of fact, like, this is the exact opposite of how it works in the real world. Babe, wake up. Another YouTuber who appeals to teenage boys is homophobic. Babe, wake up. The Twitter communist yet again says something low IQ. If you want to say that the two Valorant girls kissing doesn't make sexualization in the game worse, I'd love to hear your argument, but how is he homophobic for saying that he thinks it makes sexualization worse? How is that homophobic? How does that show that he hates gay people? Please make it make any sense at all. LGBT people just existing is not sexual, you just have a problem. You're right, LGBT people just existing is not sexual, I completely agree. If LGBT people just played Valorant and whatever, who cares? But when straight people and gay people get on Valorant and they e-date and they make each other have weird e-dater couple names and they use the in-game communication system to talk like they're in bed with each other, they're not just existing, they are actively being sexual. Like, you can't just look at this picture on its own without context. Like, these aren't just two random people, these are two video game characters worsening a problem that the video game already has. The thing is too, I think it's important to highlight, when I called out this tweet by Play Valorant, it wasn't my first time addressing degeneracy in the Valorant community. I've made videos talking about how e-daters are cringe before, and so has WestJett. I mean, look at his content now. He's making videos all the time talking about why e-daters are cringe, so it's not just like we're looking at this, we're seeing gay people and we're like, ew. It's like, no, we have a history of talking about e-dating and why it's cringe.
Well, Jett Daddy is an A-list LeBron James level celebrity that got popular for dating Sage Mommy and making e-date content alongside her. He's the yin to her yang, the hot to her cold, the Jared Fogle to her Subway.
Who would you cheat with your girlfriend? Bro,
Jules.
what? I would never, ever, ever even think about ever cheating on my Jules or Lee.
That's so sweet.
Now, as you can see yourselves, Jett Daddy actually falls into the same Valorant cinematic universe as Schrodinger, Lee, and Jules. Basically, they're like the Avengers, but instead of having any superpowers, they're just e-dating autistic and create sexually charged content for children.
So this whole argument is like, oh yeah, this guy, he's just doing this now for the first time because he doesn't like LGBT. It's like, no, bro, you have to look at the context, both for the Valorant side of things and for the creator side of things. Valorant's making a problem worse, and this is a problem that we've already talked about type of thing. So yeah, if you guys end up enjoying this video, leave a like, subscribe. We're probably gonna get some dislikes on this video, so whatever. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.